Problems. One of the issues raised by those who criticize agencies is that each one is different from every other one, and there is no coherence, and there's no single model for agencies, and this is a problem for transparency and for efficiency, and you don't know how they work and how decisions are made and so on. And in order to face these criticisms, the Commission has come up with a very important communication in 2008, and then with a long series of working documents, very detailed ones, each one of these dealing with every aspect of the creation of agencies, how they should be created, where they should be seated, how they should be governed, to whom they should be accountable, how they should be named, how they should be communicated, all these things. And these fiches ended up, a summary of those, in a joint statement in 2012 by the European Parliament, the Council and the Commission on decentralized agencies. So against this background, let's see now what happened with the European supervisory authorities. The European supervisory authorities, as I said, came to be what they are now through their transformation, because they pre-existed as bodies, as committees, created under the Lafalussy process. And then in 2010, you have the numbers of the regulations, were turned into fully fledged agencies. And together with three agencies, so the European Banking Authority, the European Insurance and Occupational Pensions Authority, and the ESMA, the European Securities and Markets Authority. Together with those was created the European, so these three are responsible for the short-term management or governance of the area of financial stability. And then we have the ESRB, the European Systemic Risk Board, which has a more long-term functions. And all these together are the pylons of the single supervision mechanism, itself the precondition for the single resolution mechanism. The single resolution mechanism is the way through which EU will be able to save banks from bankruptcy. So these agencies were created in 2010, so at a time when the Commission was trying to rationalize and was publishing these working papers, and was preparing for this joint declaration. But this, against all the things that were written in this joint declaration, in these technical features developed by the Commission, these agencies are not called agencies, they are called authorities, and they are not governed in the typical way foreseen in the joint statement through a management body, executive body, and director, because we have, on top of this, we have a board of supervisors connecting them more closely with member states. So there's an strong intergovernmental element in these agencies. But at the same time, we compensate that we have a chairperson, who is the same person common for all three agencies, who is a more federative element in the operation of these agencies. So they are atypical both for their name and for the way they are being governed. And they also have a joint committee, they meet in the joint committee in order for them to coordinate, so this is also uncommon. But most importantly, what makes them unique is not the way they are governed, because as I said before, there are many variants on how you govern an agency, but what makes them distinct is the powers they have, and they have very important powers. And here, let me say that all three agencies are created through parallel regulations. So the powers are, the structure of the regulations are the same for all three agencies, and the powers conferred to them are very similar.